Welcome to Brews and Reviews, where we sip some brews and
do a review.
That's it. I'm Brenton.
And I'm Ryan, or some call me Ron.
This is the first in what's maybe going to be a very long series. Yeah. The first project that we're going to tackle is going to be 24.
The series.
The very long series. I don't know if you realised before actually starting, did you look at how many episodes there were going to be?
I got excited for 24 because, I watched it. But then I realised how many episodes there was, and I can't recall watching that many episodes.
Yeah. So we're gonna condense it down a little bit. So we're not going to do one episode per week. This week we're going to do the first.
Yeah, I got a feeling, was it like 192 episodes?
Somewhere around there. And there's
also the 24 Legacy, I think it is, which is a spin-off with different actors at the end.
It's a long one, so we're going to do 3 episodes in the subsequent ones, and then it will work out to be, because there's 24 episodes per season, which makes sense. Then there'll be the last 2, it'll work out, so the penultimate and the final episode of the season will be our final one for our season.
Nice.
So it's timely. It's 24 years this year since 24 started, 2001.
It just seems to work. We were like, may as well.
Yeah.
24 and 24.
So what we're going to do is we're going to watch the episodes each week. 1 episode this week. We're going to watch 3 every week after that. Talk about them. Start some discussion. Pick up on
break them down.
What we like, what we didn't like.
The funny shit.
Yep.
Can't believe they're doing that.
It was one of the most successful.
Yeah, I think it
TV
was
series.
I think for a few seasons there, it was like rated number 1, and so Lost came out the same time as 24. So 24 came out.
Were they the same year?
So 24 came out, I think, just after September 11.
That's right. Because they had to cut a scene.
They had to cut. So spoiler alert, there's going to be a lot of those. They had to cut a plane crash. So the plane in the first episode. Yes. Yeah.
So it actually showed it originally, and they had to pull that footage.
I have a feeling they did, yeah. Because it would probably, fuck a lot of people up. We're swearing in this podcast, by the way.
Yeah, so 2 things. There will be spoilers. There will be some swearing. This is going to have an E on it.
Yeah, and drinking.
Yes, so that's obviously Brews and Reviews. Each week we're going to bring in something new. We'll see if we can keep them to new things each week.
Yeah, we're going to try.
And we might as well review them while we're drinking them as well. So this week I've got a Little Creatures from Fremantle, the Amber Ale. Little Creatures Amber Ale, which is delicious. And this is not really a fair one because this is one of my go-tos, so it's not really a fair review.
I'm a beer drinker, but I also like the ginger beer too. So I've gone with a James Squire's ginger beer. Low sugar.
Got to look after that.
I don't know. Where's James Squire's from?
Is it Tasmania?
Trying to look. I can't actually see. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll put it in the podcast.
New South Wales, I think. Yeah, Malt Shovel Brewery, part of the Lion Group.
Yeah, as everything.
So Lion, yeah, they own everything.
Yeah.
From your Farmers Union here to cheese.
Cheese?
Yeah, like King Island Dairy.
Yeah. You know all the facts.
Yeah.
So, but you've seen 24 when it was aired.
I thought I had. So, I was a big 24 fan. I remember watching it, I swear. But, like, how old were we? I don't.
So, 2001. 13?
Yeah, see, that's like prime, like, in my bedroom, don't annoy me, Mum. 24's on.
And you had to watch it when it aired.
Yeah, on TV with ads.
Yeah.
Like, far out.
Well, that's the thing, because obviously each episode of 24 is supposed to be an hour.
So it's real time.
Real time.
Yeah. But you're looking at about 40.
Yeah, because you don't have the ad break. So it was an hour when there were ads when it was airing on TV.
Watching that first episode, you don't notice. I mean, yeah, you don't really notice because they just chop and change so much. But
so can you give us a breakdown on the overall premise of the show?
Yeah, so you've got Jack Bauer, the one and only.
Yeah. And everyone, if you haven't seen 24, you still know the name Jack Bauer.
Oh, everyone knows the name Jack Bauer, surely. He's like the... what's that? There's that meme. Oh, Jason Bourne. He's like the Jason Bourne of I reckon.
Of TV.
Yeah, of like the
Spy.
TV espionage like series there. So he basically comes in and he saves the day in 24 hours over multiple episodes.
And each season is a new sort of challenge. It's not the recurring thing over all the seasons.
No, I can't even remember. Like, this is the thing. I started watching episode 1 and I sat there like, I was like, I can't remember this.
So
this is like a brand new series for me.
I certainly didn't watch it every week or anything like that. But obviously, again, being live TV, like what it used to be back in the day, you would walk in and see other people watching it. I would have seen my parents watching it.
It's one of those shows where you have to watch. I think you have to watch every episode as it comes out as well. You can't just join.
Yes.
You can't keep up because it's like...
Not in the middle of it. You might be able to start a new season fresh.
Yeah, you can start a new season fresh because it's basically... Like, if you have an understanding of what's going on, then you would get to know the characters if you start in season 2. But, like, I feel like if you joined halfway through a season, you'd be like, what's happening? Why is it like 3 a.m. and, they're doing this? It's like, oh, you should have been here 2 hours ago.
So along the way, some things might pique your memory and you'll go, oh, now I know but I'm fresh.
I reckon I'll get to a point, and then that might be when I was like, oh, maybe that's when I started watching it. But I swear I started watching it when it came out.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I did Lost.
Yeah, see, Lost
ago
came out
from streaming though. So again, I didn't
okay.
watch. I think I might have watched a little bit of Lost as it aired, but then a few years ago, I thought, all right, I'm going to sit down and just watch Lost start to finish streaming, and I did it in fairly quick amount of time.
Yeah, see, I haven't watched all Lost. I don't even think I've watched the end of Lost.
See, if we make it through this, we'll do the reverse because I've seen Lost, you haven't.
Yeah.
I'll watch it all again.
Yeah,
it's a good show.
Yeah, I don't mind. I started watching Lost, and I think that's the thing. It came out similar time to 24.
Was there like
We'll have to check that. But
I wonder when they aired. Like, surely they didn't air at the same time. They would have been on different days of the week or something like that. But I wonder if there was competition of
like they do
for your attention. Like, were you a Lost watcher? Were you a 24 watcher?
Yeah,
I know my wife. She watched 24, and I feel like because obviously this ran over 8 or 9 years.
Oh yeah, I think how many seasons are we looking? I forgot now.
So I would have been with her in the later part of the series.
Yeah, see.
So I think I remember her watching it.
But my wife, she didn't watch it. I can tell you that right now. This wasn't her thing. She's not an espionage girl. She's like, we watched the OC.
Yeah.
That was our thing back in school.
Oh, the OC.
So that was another one. Like, I didn't mind the OC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
We got to stop picking long series.
Yeah, that's like God knows how many seasons as well.
We'll try and get through 24 and then we'll see what we do from there.
Breaking Bad.
I was thinking maybe we'll do like a little in between seasons, do like a week of just something else to review.
Yeah, or like a movie.
Oh, yeah.
We could do a movie.
Yeah.
It's a review.
There's not been a movie of 24, has there?
There's a video game.
Really?
PS2, I reckon.
Oh, we're going to have to track down a PS2.
Yeah, do I have a PS2? I don't think I've got a PS. I think I've got a PS1.
Jesus.
Yeah, I've got a PS1.
Well, you know what we could try and do is surely you can get a PS2 emulator.
Oh, yeah. You'd 100%. Like, you only get those ads on Instagram.
You could do like a little live stream on here, play it onto the
We'll
TV.
start a Twitch account while we're here. We'll do COD as well, eh?
Yeah. Why not? So, first episode, before we even talk about what happened in the first episode, what did you think? Just turning it on, starting it up. What were the first thoughts that came to mind?
Watching it now, in the year we're in, and how far video has come.
Yeah.
I thought I was watching like a pixelated, like, I don't know. I was like, well,
it doesn't feel like when you say the name 24, it doesn't feel that old.
Nah.
But looking at it, you're
24
like,
years
old. Wow, okay.
Like, and then you'd think, I'm old. What am I doing in my life? Started a podcast to talk about 24.
Yeah, just past the halfway mark of the 30s.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. No, why not?
Well, it's either that or it's over 35's cricket, which...
Yeah, see, I don't
no, so podcast it is.
If anyone actually watches this and they're like, what the fuck is cricket? You'd be American, but...
Yeah. So, first episode starts off with introduction to Jack Bauer and his family.
Yeah, so we start in Kuala Lumpur.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
Yeah. So there's like, what's his name? I forgot his name now, but he's like the CTU agent. So this criminal, what is it? CTU.
Counter-terrorism
unit,
I think.
which is like a made up unit of the like American government or whatever it is. Defense. I don't know. What do they call it? But it takes place on the day of, is it day of the election?
No.
It's like,
Is it? No.
hang on, I got something in my.
Because I think it's still to do with primaries, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's the presidential primary.
Yeah, to pick the candidate.
Yeah, which obviously is, what's his name? David Palmer.
There you go.
Yeah, so yeah, he ends up being the mark, I guess you could call him. Like there's going to be an
attempt on his life.
So they start in Kuala Lumpur, yeah, and then they send information that there's going to be an attempt on the life of David Palmer in the next 24 hours. And then it comes to like, I think the next scene we cut to is we now see the Jack Bauer.
Yes.
The man himself.
At home.
I think they're playing chess with his daughter.
He is, yeah.
Yeah. With Kim. Kim's a funny one. What's, we got, Kiefer Sutherland.
Keith. So
Keith or is it Kiefer?
Kiefer.
Kiefer.
And I had in my head that he was an Australian actor. And so I was going to do like a thing about where he was from and the fact that he's Australian and we're Australian, and that's...
So his dad is Donald Sutherland?
Yes.
Yeah. And
he's British. He's not from Australia. He's British.
Yeah, okay. So pretty much, like, when I went to America years ago, everyone asked me, are you from, like, Britain? Like, the UK? And it's like, no, from Australia.
I don't know who I was
Sydney
thinking
or
of.
Melbourne? That's all they know. But yeah, anyway. So after we see Jack, so yeah, he's playing chess with his daughter, and she drops a comment like, "I'm glad you're back, Daddy."
Yeah, the implication is like him and his wife had separated or something like that, and now they're trying again. He's moved back home.
Yeah, and so she obviously loves Jack Bauer, Daddy, but doesn't like her mum, Terry.
Typical
Tessa.
teenager.
Yeah, typical. It's mum's fault, I reckon, that that Jack must have left, and Kim is blaming her.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, they're playing chess, having a chat. Anyway, it's what time are we at here? It starts at 12 a.m.
Yeah.
So they're awake.
Yeah,
like,
they're having a late chess game.
And he goes, "Oh, it's a school night." So you should I don't know what age she's meant to be
I
at.
think-
So Alicia
I think she
Cuthbert plays Kim, by the way.
That's right. Girl Next Door.
Girl Next Door.
Yeah.
And I think that's all I know of. I don't even remember the Girl Next Door, but...
No.
And so I get a memory, right? I'm getting a memory. I'm like, 13. Oh, Alicia Cuthbert. Oh, yeah. Not bad. That's what I'm remembering. But I could just be 13-year-old me.
So I think she's supposed to be 16.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I always get, like, weirded out by their school because... like their school years over there.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, every time I watch something, they're like, this person looks like they're 21 or 30.
Well, it's probably because they are in the show.
Yeah, true.
I mean, the actor is that old.
So I think I looked up, Alicia Cuthbert was born in like 82 or something.
Oh, right.
So she's, what are we, 88? So she's only like, she'd be in her 40s.
She would have been 6 years older
than
than
like
us.
40, she'd be 42 or something now.
So she's 6 years older than us. So when it was filming, if she was supposed to be...
She would have been like 15 or 16 in real life.
No, she would have been 19. If we were 13 back then.
Oh, yeah.
Quick maths. Could be wrong.
So 82 to 88.
Yeah.
That's 6 years, yeah.
Yeah.
So she would have been 19.
Anyway, she goes, what they think she's gone to bed, playing some loud music at 12.
Was she
12
playing
o'clock.
loud music? Because I was like...
Or was it the soundtrack?
Yeah, so I don't know.
I think it was supposed to be that she was playing loud music in her room, and then they go in there
That's the stupidest thing, because like,
Yeah.
It's 12 a.m. Dad's definitely going to be like, turn that shit down.
Anyway, they go in there. Her window's wide open. She's snuck out. She's gone somewhere. They don't know where she's gone.
Yeah.
And I don't know. For the first episode, I feel like it wasn't a great start to have like so much of the family stuff in it. I was distracted by. I wanted more of like, all right,
like we've just found out there's going to be a hit.
Yeah,
like,
show me some more of the counterterrorism.
I mean, we get the clicking clock come up.
Yeah,
I can't remember what minutes we are. I should have wrote that down. But you know, it feels like, I mean, it's real time. So, but and then I like how the boxes pop up.
For the different
so
different
it shows
scenes.
you everyone in real time, and then it will pick one, and it goes to that. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, what do we got? She's snuck out, and then that's when Jack gets a call from Nina. Yeah, so this Nina bird, I reckon she's caused all the issues in the household.
She's the home wrecker.
Yeah.
Later on, it comes out that it was Jack and
we
Nina.
don't actually know.
True.
Anyway, we'll get to that bit because we'll meet Tony. Old Tony.
Flavor Saver Tony.
Oh, yeah. If anyone knows Nolsey from Australia.
That's exactly what he looks like.
Yeah. Or Tony Stark.
Would that have been around the time, when did Shannon Knoll rise to fame?
That must have been around like...
Do you think it was around then? I must have been.
2001 is when like... What's it
I
called?
I want to check that out.
Yeah.
That must have been the look though.
Oh, we got a mate who does it. Oh, he did it. He did it. Not now.
Later than 2001.
Oh, yeah, true. We're old. Well,
Yeah.
we're not old. We're not as old as like that age in 2001.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So we get a rundown of the CTU organisation. They're all in there. They're on their computers. They're looking like a normal spy agency.
Well, I mean, he gets this call, and they're in the bedroom, and like, see, I don't understand. Jack must be like a machine. He's just got a phone call like, "We need you in the office," and he's like, "Are you serious right now? Like, I'm a bit busy," and they're like, "Yeah, you need to come in." So he tells the wife like, "Yeah, I need to go in." Oh, but our daughter's missing. Yeah, I know. She'll be right. But then like he switches from mode to mode throughout the whole episode.
Yeah, when he first realizes that she's gone, it was all concern and we got to find her. And then he gets the call and it's like, "Oh, actually, let's just check back in a couple of hours."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, look, I got to go in for this meeting, this briefing. It's only going to take an hour max.
Yeah.
I'll be home. We'll find her." So anyway, then he gets in the car, and he obviously doesn't live far because it's real time.
True, he did get there very quick.
And he calls Terry. He calls his wife a lot.
Yeah.
And she calls him a lot in this very first episode. I'm like, can you back the fuck up? Like, we want to find a terrorist here. Just stop calling him. Anyway, yeah, what is it, like 15, not even 15 minutes, I reckon. And he's already in the office.
Yeah.
Which is the head office, CTU, the counter-terrorism unit.
Maybe it's like one of those army bases where you live right around the corner.
Yeah. They like to do that over there. I mean, we do that here.
I have no idea.
Yeah, my uncle, he was in the army. And like, he used to live on a base.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I remember visiting him in Melbourne once. Anyway, I can't talk about that. It's top secret. He probably won't hear it anyway.
No.
Actually, ASIO probably listening right now.
That's, live through this recording as we go.
So, yeah. So now we're at CTU with we meet the whole gang.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming it's the whole gang.
The key people.
Yeah, so we've got, who we got? We got Jack. So I don't know what's his
I feel like
rank.
he's like a unit boss. Like he's the boss of that group, but then he's also obviously got bosses above him that are telling him what to do. And I think he looks after that group that you see in the building.
Yeah.
But the one that comes to give him the briefing is obviously
I
based somewhere else, but gives him his orders.
So I forgot his name. I had it written down. Left my notes in the car.
It's a good place.
George Mason. I'm pretty sure his name is.
Wow.
Yeah. May have watched episode 2 a couple of times. Episode 1. Episode 1 a couple of times just to check. I think it's George Mason. Don't quote me. But yeah, so I think he's the head of CTU. He's an old boy.
Yep.
And he comes in and, well, first of all, we meet Nina Myers.
Yep.
And Tony. And I reckon like there's something going on between.
Well, Tony wants Nina.
Yeah, so I think they're already a thing.
Right.
I think they are.
But then Tony also thinks there's some history between Jack and Nina.
Yeah. I think that's what gives us the, like, there's something going, there's something went on with Nina and Jack.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I think he asked her at one stage, didn't he? Like, did you sleep with him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tony does.
Yeah, Tony asked Nina. Yeah. And then we've also got, who else we got? We got Jamie. She's the hacker. So she's like the computer whiz.
Jamie.
Yeah, so she's the computer whiz. So she does all like the...
that's who Jack gets to do his personal errands for as well.
Yeah, I think halfway through. Yeah, so later on we find out, can't find Kim, but we'll get to that. Anyway.
Yeah, some very interesting IT things going on.
Yeah. And then so old Georgie boy rocks up and they go into the briefing room. Probably the size of this room, to be honest. And then what happens? So they have... I think he spills like, we've found out there's gonna be a hit on an attempt on David Palmer's life in the next 24 hours.
Yes.
And everyone's like, oh shit, we gotta get going. We gotta do some shit. And then like the room clears and he's like, hang on, Jack, stay here. And then he wants Jack to that's right, he divulges to Jack like there could be someone on the inner circle here.
I think there's a
involved.
mole
in
CTU.
Mole. Yeah. And Jack's like, what the fuck? Why do you want me to do it? Everyone hates me.
And the reason why is because Jack's got a history of investigating his own people.
But I think I looked into that. Yeah, well, I looked into it, and Jack has like doesn't like people that take bribes. If you take money for like, if you like throughout the season, pretty sure he pushes the limits. Like,
well, he does in episode 1. He already pushes the limits, which I'm sure we'll get to.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, he's ruthless.
Yeah.
And
but for the right reasons.
Yeah, so he'll do it to get answers for what he needs, but he won't do it for personal gain. That's what he did. So that's what he snitched on these. I think he said 3 agents that he snitched on, and that apparently there's they did it for personal gain.
Right, and he's not down with that.
Yeah, so he's not down with that.
But apparently later.
And then so he's like, how am I supposed to get close to someone on the inside if they know that I'm a snitch?
They already suspect
that
he's going to be...
And he's like, there's no one else that I can get to do it, Jack. I need you.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So that already puts you on watch for someone in CTU. That you're going to try and guess who the mole is.
The 24 series, which we'll get to when we get to the plane.
Yeah.
So they are good at doing like twists. Like you'd be like, oh, this person.
I feel like it's like misdirection. Like they try and make you think that this is going to be the one.
They do it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
no, that was we'll come to it, but that was my favorite part of the episode. So if that's what the rest of the series is going to be like, that's what I liked about it.
I think they do it a fair bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It keeps you on your toes.
So we go from there. Have we already gone past where we see David Palmer and they're talking about his what he's got coming up and things like that, and they're talking about
I think that was in between.
Yeah, they've got a CTU photographer coming in from Europe to do some stuff.
Yeah, Martin.
Yeah. And then the other thing that happens in between some of this is some more stuff with his daughter. So when his daughter snuck out, she's gone to meet some boys with her friend
with Janet.
Again, in a really weird sort of setup, they go to a furniture store and...
Yeah, so this dude, it's the whole... Yeah, we're going to meet these 2 guys. They're not just guys. They're old. They're older guys.
Yeah.
They don't go to school. They got no jobs. Except for this bloke works at the furniture store because his dad owns it.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's actually a random setting, to be honest. Like...
out
of everything you could have chosen,
and they're getting up on the furniture and dancing, and
not just getting up on the furniture, getting in the furniture.
Oh yeah,
you see that? Just a little background shot. So coming to like the rating,
is it MA?
So
in Australia,
you'll notice no swearing.
Right.
Jack says "damn" a lot. So you'd be like, "Oh, I stubbed my toe, damn," or "Oh, I just got shot, damn." So you're not going to be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So I think it was aired like, the 8:30 mark, which is usually like adult time. Well, back in our day, it was like,
Oh, for sure.
You're like, fuck yeah, adult time. But, so yeah, I don't think there's swearing yet.
So no swearing, plenty of violence, again.
So there's heaps of violence. Yeah. But there's like no swearing. It's like... In America,
but that's like sort of typical for American TV shows and movies. It's they can have as much violence. I think even sex scenes are fairly liberal, but they get like allocated a number of swears that they can use in a movie or in a show, and like you might get one, and that keeps your rating under M.
Yeah, it'd be like on a podcast. You could probably drop a shit here and there, but you can't drop a fuck.
Don't drop a shit in this podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, you can't drop like a big bomb.
Yeah. So yeah, she's partying away.
So the boys they met, Rick and Dan, by the way.
You're very good with these names.
Ask me anything else outside of this, and my boss asked me all the time, "Oh, you remember this job you went to?" No, I don't remember that job I went to 2 days ago.
But Rick and Dan.
Oh, Rick and Dan are getting with Janet and Kim.
Well done.
So I think Rick might be with Janet, and Dan is the one with Kim.
Details.
So, yeah. Well, I think that's it.
And then there's another strange cutaway where the mum, give me the name. Terry.
Yeah.
She gets a random call from the mum of the father of the friend.
Alan York.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you. I fucking know this.
That is ridiculous.
Do you know what? I was never this good in school. I think I took notes on this. Like I wrote notes down handwritten. I think that's what's caused it.
That's what's wrong with the education system. They need to connect with you. So if they put it in the style of a TV show, think what you could have done.
Like, oh, mate.
Lawyer, judge.
Oh. Jack Bauer 2.0. Just a bit unfitter.
So then she meets up with the father.
Yeah, so that's a little bit later on. So that she gets a phone call. So she's like, can't find anything. She's on the phone to Jack about 6 times in between this, by the way. And Jack's just like, yeah, hey, I'm at work. Like, all this shit's going down. He's like, calm as.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like...
He's a seasoned professional. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, you got to stop fucking calling. You need to find our daughter. I got shit to do. I'm about to save the world.
Yeah.
Actually, not the world. It's just
not
one
really.
life, really. But
they make the stakes that high.
Actually, we haven't mentioned... So, David Palmer, right?
Mm.
There hasn't been... Apparently, I think I read there wasn't a TV show where there's been a black president or a black candidate. And, back in 2001...
This was well before Obama times.
This was not a thought that anyone would see.
Yeah.
So, this was like...
I wonder...
I feel like that was a good move.
Did 24 give Obama the courage to...
I reckon he's got his own Jack Bauer. I reckon he'd have his own Jack Bauer. But, yeah, so... Where were we? So, yeah, in between all the Janet and Alan talking... Not Janet, sorry. Alan and Terry talking to each other, they... not Kim. What's her name? Terry and Jack call each other multiple times.
Yep.
And then eventually, Alan calls Terry, like, oh, hey, do you know my daughter? And then she's like, no, but like, is your daughter missing? So's mine. And it's like, oh, yeah. Because they don't have phones. Oh, they have phones in this, right? Which weirds me out because, I'm used to like whipping out an iPhone. I could like download whatever I want and look at whoever I want and,
Yeah.
But they can't even like... It's like they can't even send a text message.
But I don't know if you picked up on it when when Jack wants to hack into his daughter's email accounts, the way that they do it is to, I think he says, can you pull all the internet passwords that are associated to this mobile number?
Yeah. It's like, whoa, man. Yeah, I found that crazy, like, because these days it's like, no. Good luck with that. I got 42 passwords I can't even remember, let alone like just the one.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the computers are old when they pull them up, and it's like, oh, that
it ages it quickly.
Yeah, that's like when you like ask me like, what did you think when you first started it? It's like, oh, everything's just so dated.
Yeah.
But like once you start watching, it's good.
Yeah.
You get into it. So yeah, where are we up to? So they're at the furniture shop. They're partying.
Yeah.
They're also rooting.
Yes, they are.
So Janet's copping it, if you want to call it that. But like, it's a bit weird because they're supposed to be 16.
Yeah.
And it's like you can see them over the shoulder, like Kim and I think it's Dan or whatever. Like, oh, where are they? And then you just see this bed moving with like people
they have
in
a little
sheets.
giggle.
Yeah, and it's like, oh yeah. Which back then I would have been like, oh Jesus, is this rated R? Is it 9:30? So yeah, and then I'm not sure. Does it cut? Where's it cut to next? I had this all written down. It's in the car.
I think it then is back to CTU and the...
so George Mason rocks up.
Yes.
So, no, not George Mason. Oh, maybe that's George Mason. Yeah, I'd have to double check. But, so one of them's George Mason. But this other guy that's still higher than Jack, but lower than the
Again,
boss.
I'm not quite sure where he fits into CTU, but yeah, he's clearly...
Yeah, so he's like, he hates Jack.
Yeah.
Jack hates him. Let's just clear the air there. They hate each other. So he brings like, looks like a floppy disk. For anyone that doesn't know, that's like a... What did you call that?
I might even have one here I can try and
Yeah.
find later.
Far out. That'd be like... surely they'd worth a bit these
We
days.
don't throw things out here.
Yeah. What do you just get on there? 3 meg and you'd fit like 40 pictures on it?
On one of those ones.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, it
Dude.
gives him like what looks like a floppy disk. Or actually, this generation, the latest generation, is that the save button? So yeah. And he's like, what does he say? He's like, you can access. This will get you access to what you need to know, like all the files and on the like. I guess it's like
It gave him a level of
clearance?
access to, to
a
other
clearance.
areas of information.
And then Jack wants to know more, like, where's this intel coming from?
Yeah, wants to know the source.
Yeah. And the guy's like, well, that's need to know. You don't need to know. And he's like, well, I need to know. And then he's like, well, you don't need to know. He's like, you need to get onto your boss right now because I need to know. And then hands him the phone or whatever. And Jack's like, leaves the room straight away onto, is it Nina? And he's like,
I need to listen to that call.
I need to listen to that call.
Yep.
And like old mate's just like,
What did he call? He called like a what's the time number. I don't know if you remember that back in the day. You could ring if you wanted to know exactly what the time was. There was a particular number that you dial on your landline, and it'll talk back the current time and day and year and everything like that. So he's just dialed a nothing number to pretend that he's talking to his boss. Really, he's not. He's got no intention of giving Jack that information.
Meanwhile, I swear Jack's already known this is going to happen because he's beelining it to this. It just looks like it's a filing cabinet, no locks on it.
This is something I was going to bring up because it's quite a funny scene because he gets to this locker. It's a weapons lockup. There's a tranquilizer in there.
And he's just like, Tanita, hand me a folder.
Yeah.
Get the folder.
But I love, like, they're doing all that in the open. And so, like, people would have seen them moving towards that cabinet and, like,
surely
why are they going to where the tranquilizers are?
Yeah.
And then
who's going to cop it? Jack's angry.
Then he puts the tranquilizer in the folder to hide it. But before he's even, like, halfway up the steps, he takes it out of the folder. I'm like, you're not hiding it from anyone.
Just walks it, bang, pops him in the knee.
But the funny thing, like, there is no way that tranquilizer gets that man down that quickly.
Nah, I wouldn't know how fast the trank goes.
I don't either.
We're talking CTU though. Like, they got some high-end shit.
It's probably just ketamine.
Would it be? It's not an animal tranquilizer. Like, it's full.
Well, it's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but like, would it not be like, oh, this is for human use only?
Well, it'd probably be like less than what you'd want for an elephant, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But there's no way it's like, knocking him out in 10 seconds.
And it's like, it didn't cop him in the neck. Like, you see that sort of shit and you're like, oh yeah, bang him straight in the neck. He's like, fuck it, straight in the kneecap. Like, surely if you get it
going straight into the blood.
Surely you want to get him in the neck a bit, like, that'd go quicker than the knee. Like, you probably like, oh fuck, got him in the bone. I'm not actually going down, I'll just pretend.
It just hurts a lot.
Jack's choked him out anyway, so we're over that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I like about this real time is you hear, like, Nina comes up and she's just like, she doesn't actually look that shocked. I mean, she knew it was going to happen because
she knows Jack. She's worked with Jack for a while. She knows what he can be like.
Yeah. And then, he's like, I need you to find out about this $200,000 that went missing from whatever it was. He goes, I think he took it. I just couldn't prove it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, ask Tony. And then that's when the whole, like, Tony and thing. He's like, are you asking him or
who are you
am I?
asking for?
Because if you ask him, he's going to need a why. Yep. And then he turns around, Jack turns around to him and is like, well, if you ask him. And it's like, oh, yeah, something's going on.
Yep.
But that's what I like because he's like, at this point, he says,
half an hour?
Yeah. So he's going to be waking up in half an hour. And we're like, well, there's more than half an hour left in this show. So he's going to wake up. We're going to know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about the show because same with the plane thing coming up. He's like, he chats to this, the guy on the plane chats to someone. And they're like, oh, how far away? And he's like, oh, the plane's going to land in an hour and 20. So in my head, I'm like, Oh, so he's not going to rock up until next episode.
Oh, so you take anytime someone mentions time, you can you sort of
yeah.
take it literally, and you know,
So you
all right,
can
that's going to happen in this episode, or that's going to maybe be a recurring thing for the next episode.
Yeah. And the other thing I like, no one changes clothes, do they? There's no like costume changes. I mean, unless Jack's going to like, put on some fucking SWAT gear.
But when does he sleep? That's the other thing.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It starts at 12 a.m.
Yeah.
Did he just fucking wake up from a nap? Like, was he like, I'm just going to have a nap from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m.?
Just in case someone tries to assassinate.
Or has he been awake since like,
presidential candidate?
I feel like someone of his stature would be like, 4 a.m. wake-ups every day, no matter what.
Yeah. 50 push-ups first.
Yeah. And he likes to surf, by the way. We find that out.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, just got a little
Anyway,
bit more interested.
tangent. So the half an hour, he's like, half an hour until he wakes up. We need to find this shit out. And then, so she's like, all right, I'll go and ask Tony. And I think Tony actually says something to Nina, like, did you sleep with him?
Yeah, that's where that conversation happens.
And then, before that, I wrote this speech down, but I can't remember it. Jack said something about his, so it's like something along the lines of, once you compromise, you'll always compromise.
Yeah.
So the idea is like, he doesn't like people that will compromise.
Yeah.
Because,
it's going to make it easier the next time.
Yeah, and then you're going to think that's the right way every
That's
time.
the new baseline.
I'm like, do I live my life like this? Should I be following this rule?
This has been a
Never
philosophical
compromise.
episode for you.
Yeah. So, that's where we're at with that. Then I think it flashes. It might go to the plane, maybe.
Yeah, because I feel like, we haven't spoken about the plane yet, but I feel like there's a couple of scenes on the plane. It's not all in one go. So, on the plane.
Well, the first plane scene's the phone call. So that's when you meet this Martin.
Yeah.
Who's a photographer.
Yeah.
See, he seems shady as fuck.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't
Where's he coming from again?
I think it's just ambiguous Europe. He's a European.
Yeah. It's like, who the fuck gets a European? I mean, he must be some high-end photographer.
Well, I think that's the idea, is that they've got this special photographer coming in, and when he talks about who he's photographed and whatnot, and he's picked up the magazine, he's supposed to be an influential photographer.
Yeah.
And so it was David Palmer's wife. Is that who was on the phone?
Actually, I don't know. And then he because they make his character look shady as fuck, because he's like, is David Palmer going to be be there at this breakfast or something? And it's like, what do you need to know that for, mate? What do you got planned?
Yeah.
And then so he gets off. Well, he gets off the phone, and then his passenger friend, like the lady next to him, just someone
drunk lady. She's had a few too many on the plane.
Yeah, that's right. And then she's like, do you mean Senator David Palmer? And he's like, yeah, I'll take photos. And then, she's like asking him all these questions. So at this time, you're like thinking this Martin bloke's dodgy as.
Yeah, he's the assassin coming in on the plane.
I can't remember the show. So I'm like, this guy, that's right, surely this guy's dodgy. So I'm back, I'm back in it again. Yeah. And I'm like, this lady here is going to cop it. She's just walked into something where she shouldn't have, chatting to this Martin bloke. But yeah, so that's and then it cuts away again. Yeah,
that was their interaction.
Yeah, I've watched episode 2, so I'm trying not to, because you haven't watched episode 2.
No, I made sure because I know I would get them confused, especially if I'm binging something. Everything just melds into one.
So when we first chatting about this, you're like, yeah, I reckon we do 2 episodes per thing. So I was like, fuck yeah.
And then I changed my mind.
And then you changed. I found out just when we got here, by the way. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, I just got to make sure I don't drop a spoiler for season 2 for you. I mean, episode 2.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I think I should be right.
So then, after the first plane, where do we go from there? Is it back to the?
Well, in the meantime, like Kim's mum, Terry, and has spoken to Jack another 35 times.
Yep.
I feel like this is when. Oh no! So I reckon there's got to be a part of Jack's meets not meets but tells what's his name, Jamie the hacker. Yep. I think that's where he's like, can you
get into my door? Well,
can you get the passwords that's all associated with this number?
Yep.
And she's like, yeah, fuck oath, that's easy. Do you want me to do anything hard? And then anyway, so the password pops up. which is,
Oh, what was that? A hate life? No, what was
life
that?
sucks.
Life sucks.
Yeah. That typical
Classic
teenager. I
teenager.
probably had the same thing myself, to be honest. Sorry, I need a drink. Getting a bit dry. Oh. It's refluxing on me. So yeah, then Jack calls Terry.
Again.
Tezza.
Yeah.
I got the password. Life sucks. And so she's like cracked into this old school computer. Like so they email each other.
What was it? I reckon it was like a Mac.
It was like
G1. Or I can't remember what the naming conventions were back then. But yeah, one of the.
It's not a laptop, is it? It's like
No.
It's a desktop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, and you like pop up the little window there, and it's like, so that's when, Terry finds out that they've gone to the furniture store.
Yeah.
So she's got the address to the furniture store, and then calls Alan York, which is Janet's dad.
Yeah.
So this dude gives me vibes as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like single dad.
Yeah.
I don't think what's it called? Yeah, I don't think mum's around.
No.
I don't know if mum. I feel like he said something.
No.
Maybe that'd be in episode 2. So anyway, he's giving me like creepy vibes, and I can't remember where this character's from. Like the actual actor.
Oh, okay.
I feel like he's from. Like I've seen him on Seinfeld or something.
I'm gonna have to look him up on IMDb.
Do you know Seinfeld? But imagine doing Seinfeld, by the way.
It's what?
Imagine doing Seinfeld. Anyway,
Anyway,
like 30 seasons of that. Yes, I feel like he's from or like American Dad.
Oh,
I feel like he plays the dude in the wheelchair, but I could be completely right. I don't know. I can't remember where I like seen him from. I feel like he's from a comedy.
We'll look it up.
Yeah. Anyway, he gives me vibes. Like,
yeah. Well, straight away she says, "I'm going to go. I think I know where they are.
Yeah,
I'm going to go and find them." And he wants to tag along.
Yeah, he's like, "Can I come? I'll drive."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Fuck! Don't be getting in the car with like Terry. Don't get in a random's car." Jack.
She does though.
Yeah, so she does, and she knows that's what Jack calls.
Yeah.
And he's
while she's in the car.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I'm with Alan. We're on our way to a furniture store," and he's like, "Who's Alan?" I was just like, "Well, yeah, it's Alan. It's Janet's dad." Oh, okay. Yeah. Meanwhile, he's like switches straight off because he's back into his terrorist mode. But yeah, so they're on their way to the furniture store, and then so they're the ending scene as well.
Yeah, but before that,
there's more David Palmer
tranquilizer
stuff.
wears off.
Yeah. So the tranquilizers were worn off. He's found the information that he needed, and then he ends up,
bribing, essentially blackmailing him.
Yeah, blackmails him. Yeah, and then he walks off limping. He's like, "This will be the." What does he say? He says something like that's stupid. It's like, "This will be the death of you, Jack Bauer."
Yeah.
As he limps off down the stairs,
He's
Jack's
made
like,
another enemy.
And he's like, "Yeah, you're going to end up in jail for it." He's like, "Yeah, probably."
Yeah, but I'm saving the world / an American senator.
Yeah, one bloke.
Yeah.
And then, so talking of Senator Palmer, so it does switch to him at some point. I can't remember when, and he's on the couch with his wife, and then the secretary comes in with the phone.
Right, I never forgot about that. Really dodgy.
So I think a reporter calls him.
Yeah.
So we don't hear her talking.
No.
I forgot her name. I wrote it down.
But he gets heated.
I think it's Kingsley. Something Kingsley.
Again with the name.
Yeah. She's the reporter.
Right.
I'm assuming reporter because she's like, "Oh, we're going to run a story, and do you have a comment on something?" Blah blah blah. And he starts to get a bit like,
heated.
"Oh," he's like,
"If you run this, then
yeah."
Blah,
and
blah,
then
blah.
he's like, "I got nothing to say."
Yeah.
And then
Then he walks out.
So yeah, so he walks out to the door. His wife's like, "Oh, what was that?" And he's like, "Nothing. Don't worry about it."
Shuts the door.
She's like, "Yeah," but she's like, "No, it doesn't seem like nothing. Like you were a bit angry." And then just shuts the door and it like turns his back to it and just slowly closes the door. Like not even just slams it shut and like, "Don't bother me." Just doesn't say a word to it. Just shuts.
It's
the door.
almost worse, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's like, "Oh, that's a big fuck you." Like, don't talk to me. But we don't find out.
No,
not in this episode anyway.
That's a cliffhanger for the next one.
I don't know. What do you reckon? Is it like a an affair or
I think,
has he covered
an
something?
affair or he's done something dodgy in his politics, like
got dead
taken
people to vote
some
for him or
money and help someone out or something like that.
Yeah. So I'm assured we obviously will find out something.
Yeah.
But
so what is the ending scene? Is it the no? It's not the plane. Is it?
No, it's not the plane. So the
plane's next.
So we'll probably go back to the plane, and then Martin's getting a route.
Yeah, in the Mile High
From
Club.
Mandy. Her name's Mandy, by the way.
Well done.
Which we don't find out until actually I looked.
No,
at
I think they introduce each other, don't introduce themselves.
Actually, yeah, there is at some point.
I reckon in that early scene where she's asking about who he's photographed and he's being very blasé.
Like, I'm a photographer.
Yeah.
Oh, this lady wants to talk.
Secretly an assassin, which is what they want us to believe.
Class.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then.
So yeah, they're joining the Mile High Club.
Yeah, they're getting in on it.
Yep.
And then I think it cuts away to something else. I can't remember. They do a few things.
I don't know. I thought it stayed on that scene. Like because he goes back to his seat, but she stays there.
No. So she's back in the seat with him too. So I think it does cut away to something else.
How quickly I forget what actually happened.
Yeah, but it just cuts back and forth to so many characters so quickly. It's like, but anyway, get the gist of it. But anyway, if we go back to the plane, she creeps over him because he's like, I don't know, he's like passed out. Not passed out, but I think he's having a nap.
Yep.
Because he's like, just pumped her one.
Yep.
So he's having a nap. And then she's, at the same time, she's picked his wallet.
That's right. She took his ID or something like that. Yeah.
Which you'll find out in episode 2. So I already know what happened. Okay. Why that's the case. Which you're going to be like, what the fuck? But yeah. So anyway, she dresses up. She's acting all drunk too.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh yeah, hey. And it must be getting close to landing. Because she's knocked out. Oh, that's when you're like, whoa, what the fuck? When
she knocked out the...
she like tranquilizes someone.
The stewardess.
Yeah. Like full jabbed her in the neck with an injection.
Yeah.
And then...
they like the tranquilizers in the
show. They do at the
2 in 1 episode.
Yeah. So Jack's already downed someone. We should have a count of
how many times someone... Yeah.
Jack kills someone. Anyway, what happens then? So then she starts pulling all this stuff out. Like she pulls a bag out, acts drunk again. She's got to go into the main cabin where everyone's sitting, and then pulls this huge bag out. I don't know if it's hers or not, or if it's hidden.
Well, because there's 2 parts to it. She's something that she's brought on board that she was able to get through security, but then there's something attached to like the door or something that she has to pull out.
So that it's inside the fire extinguisher.
That's where it is.
And I was like, well, insider.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so you're on the right plane. They got the right plane. And he pulls out this, like, twist the bottom and, like, you're like, oh, fancy.
Yeah.
They're high tech. And that's the bomb. Gives herself, like, probably, like, 24 seconds, I reckon. It's probably, like, a little Easter egg in there. I have to go back and check that, actually.
Oh, it could be.
It could be 24 seconds. I can't remember.
Oh,
There's only something
it's
small.
Not, it's not long.
And she has, like, the rope of explosives that she wraps around the door.
Yes,
and
to blow it out.
So what gets me was, it's nighttime, isn't it?
Yeah.
What does she pull out? She's got a helmet on, and she pulls out fucking tinted glasses. I was like, that'd be like me driving around the streets.
Explosion. No, because there's no explosion. It's just the fact that the door got blown off is why the plane goes down. There's no... There is another bomb.
So she puts the bomb on, like,
on
next
the door.
to her, and then she puts her own little bomb to blow the door that sucks her out.
Right.
And then obviously she's sucked out, and then the bomb would go off pretty much like 10 seconds
just
later.
After. Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure
that's
like,
what the glasses are for. The explosion's going to be bright.
But why do they have to be tinted? Like...
It's like when you look directly into a fire. It's too much.
I was like, you mucked up there, whoever wrote this.
That's not watching it. That's it. Cancelled.
Yeah, no. There's a few things I think that happen like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, yeah, anyway, she sucked herself out of the plane. And you're just
that's the reveal. You think the whole time it's gonna be the photographer, and
guy.
all of a sudden it's this drunk passenger who we thought was just sitting next to the assassin. No, she's the dodgy one. He was innocent the whole time, just a dickhead photographer.
Yeah, he was just innocent.
Yeah.
He actually had a gig. He was probably excited to see Senator Palmer. Now he's dead.
He probably took some good photos as well.
See, I can't even tell you. We'll
save it for the next one.
Trying to remember for the next episode.
Yeah.
Because, just put it this way. You think about it. What's the point of stealing his ID if he's dead?
Well, someone's going to try and be him.
But they know he was on that plane. Yeah.
Okay,
that's what I'm like.
Don't give it up for me.
So that's what I was like. I sort of did think that at the end. I was like,
I did not think about it
what's
deeply
the point
enough.
of stealing an ID if
when he's going to be on the passenger list?
Yeah.
Unless they're trying to frame him. I'm
then
not. I'm not going to guess. Let's wait for next week.
Yeah, but then again, I guess it's 24 hours, isn't it? But like this is going to happen within 24 hours.
It's just not a lot of time, is it?
You're probably not going to find out if someone's like, "Oh, was Martin on that plane?" But then again, like how many planes are coming from wherever he came from in Europe?
So from the plane scene, I want to say it then goes back to the daughter.
Yeah. So this is that's the other thing. She's on the roof at one stage with Dan,
right,
by himself because Janet and Rick are going out.
Oh, and she says that her dad's 6 months ago.
That's where we find out she likes surfing too. Yeah, so Dad's not here, he's dead. Yeah. And I was like, why is she saying
again,
that?
What's the point?
I don't know. I don't understand
Is
that.
it for the sympathy vote?
Yeah. And then I'm wondering if Janet's dad died. Janet's mum died. Because, when they're back downstairs and she's like, I've got like 10 missed calls from my mum.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I got to go home. And then she pulls out the whole... No, that's right. Dan...
Like, give her a break. Her dad died or something like that.
Yeah, her dad just died 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And Janet's like, what? What do you mean? And then I'm like wondering if like she's used her mum's story. Like maybe Janet's mum's died 6 months ago. I don't know.
It was a weird drop. Like,
yeah, it's just a weird
surely
thing.
It's got to serve a purpose eventually.
Yeah. And then...
anyway, they say, okay, well, we'll give you a lift home because they were going to go somewhere else. They're going to go to another party or something like that. Yeah. So she says she's got to go because she's been found out. Her mum's figured out that she's out, and so she's stressing. Then they say that, yep, we'll give you a lift on the way to the party. We'll take you home. So they get in the van, and they're driving along, and the driver does not look fit to be driving. He's on the verge of passing out.
Well, I'm pretty sure Janet's knocked out.
Yeah.
She's like Paro.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're obviously just
and
she's
she's trying to tell them, all right, you need to turn up here.
Yeah.
And they miss the turn off, and all of a sudden the two guys get really the guy in the back gets super dodgy.
Well, the guy at the front, Rick, he's fucking dodgy as from the start.
He just looked like he was about to pass out.
Yeah.
But both of them are...
Yeah, so they're like, she's like, oh, no, turn here.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, we're going to party. We're going to have some fun tonight.
Mm.
But then it's like, at the same time, you're like, why? It feels weird.
The way that he looked, the guy in the back, the way that he was looking, something... Yeah. They're in on it. They're the assassins.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
They're going
how
to
do they
use
know
her.
who Kim is? Like, are they after Kim or are they after Janet?
They're just trying to make sure that the CTU is not going to get in the way.
Yeah. Surely is Jack Bauer a name already? I suppose he
Bauer.
is. And then anyway, the best part, like I liked about that bit at the end was they run a red light.
Yeah.
And they almost like fucking collect Alan and Terry.
Unbeknownst to them, her daughter's in the back of that van.
Yeah. And that's
the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So, I enjoyed it, but it didn't hook me until the twist.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, now I'm interested.
Yeah. So I think the only reason I was hooked like straight away, I think, anyways, because I know it's good.
Yeah.
Like
you know what's coming.
Yeah. And I'm like, I remember. I don't actually remember, to be honest, but I just must have like a subconscious thing of like, I fucking love 24. Can't wait to get home and watch 24 tonight. 13-year-old me. Yeah.
One thing that again, it was in those first scenes with him and his family, and I do not remember shaky cam being such an overused thing.
Or like the Days of Our Lifestyle with a bit of Vaseline over the...
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, it can't be this.
When they're in the house.
Yeah.
But even for a scene like just Jack talking to his wife and the camera's shaking all over the place. I'm like, what is going on? I thought like maybe for an action scene, you've got someone like chasing after the person doing the action scene and it's shaky and whatnot. And that makes sense. But I was like, why is the camera moving around so much?
That's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know if it was like a tactic back then.
I think it was
we really need to try this. No one's done it yet.
Yeah, no, I think it was a fad. I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know. I'm not a film major. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think it's used as liberally as it was back then.
No, I don't think they use it anymore. Everyone's got gimbals now, anyway.
That's right.
I don't, but
no, you don't want to see this.
But that was a good end. I like it.
Yeah. No, I am now. I've been holding off. I'm looking forward to watching the next 3 episodes.
Yeah, see, I was so stoked to get straight into. Like, this is something you could just binge watch the shit out
Oh,
of.
for sure.
And because there's 9 seasons or 10 seasons, whatever it is,
Yeah.
you've got 190 episodes.
It's going to be a lot.
Yeah, it's technically... I mean, it won't be 190 hours, but...
No. So after we watch a few episodes, we're going to start ranking them. So what the plan is, and again, as long as we can keep this going, is rank episode against episode for a season. And then obviously we'll start again for the next season. And then once we've got a couple of seasons under our belt, rank the seasons against each other as well.
That sounds good.
So...
am I going to be able to remember them? I've like blocked.
Well, that's what I mean. We've got to just
write notes.
Keep track
works,
of it.
Apparently,
I'll do some sort of post editing with a graphic of some sort.
Oh yeah,
get MS Paint out.
Oh yeah, it's a bit 2001 style.
Yeah, that's
dial up. We'll try and upload this with dial up.
Yep. Yeah, so in 3 years' time with these HD phones and whatnot, we might actually get it up.
So it goes to 2001 to 2010, I think.
Must do, yeah.
iPhone was out then, was it?
When was iPhone? I reckon it wasn't. I reckon iPhone was maybe 2011.
Yeah, okay. The 3G, iPhone 3G.
iPhone 3G. Actually, I'm going to look that up later.
I mean, it came out. The Motorola Razr was definitely out. I had one of those.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Also, can I just say, what do you think of the clock?
I love the clock.
Do you like the noise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I want to see if we can put it as part of this, like at the start of the because it's. I don't know what that
clock is anyway.
No, it's such an iconic sound. And the other thing that I did think about, and I want to try and sample as well, is the phones inside of CTU. Do you remember that?
Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
that triggered me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, that's that. I was almost like, oh, that's like
comforting. Because I hadn't heard that anywhere else before 24.
Yeah.
But again, even though I haven't watched all the, again, I've only seen little bits and pieces here and there. The sound of the clock and the clock itself is iconic. I knew that straight away.
Yeah.
But the sound of the phones inside of CTU, I knew that as well. Yeah, I was like, I know that sound. And I only would have seen it, I only would have heard it from catching snippets of someone else watching 24 while I was in the room.
Yeah, the phones.
But I think I've actually...
You hear them go off a lot.
I want to see what they're from, because I feel like I've also... After 24, I think I've heard them in an office space somewhere. And I was like,
it's probably like, this season's got, 24 use this like tone. We could probably get a few people hooked with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I reckon I probably might have even had the ringtone. You get, back in the day, you get ringtones on your phone.
Yeah.
The Nokia 3310.
Yeah.
I was probably cranking push all the buttons to get the ringtone.
Do you remember you used to have to? They used to cost a fortune,
$4.49 or something.
And it used to go onto your phone bill, didn't it?
Yeah,
because obviously you can't. You didn't use your credit card on a Nokia 3310 back then. So
you'd be playing Snake. That's about it.
So it would get charged to your phone bill.
Yeah, you're prepaid.
They talk about how kids rack up massive bills of downloading. But can you imagine the amount of phone bills that came back, like thousands of dollars, because their kids?
Those kids at what did your parents do?
Prepaid. I had to pay my own.
Yeah,
ran out of credit.
There's a few that were like, oh yeah, no, mum pays for my phone bill.
What? Like, an adult, like there was always an adult thing is to have like an unlimited plan that you just pay for afterwards.
Yeah.
Whereas like kids, teenagers, that you always had to have prepaid, and if you run out of credit, you call in your 3 minutes.
You do the 1-800 reverse.
Yeah.
On the payphone. Call me, mum.
Oh man,
those are the days.
It's so different now. Now we sound old by talking about back in my day.
I wonder what our kids are going to think.
I don't want to know.
They'll definitely look at a floppy disk and be like, "Is that a save button, Dad?"
Yeah, that's got them all over it.
Yeah.
All right, I reckon we're done for the first. Look at that. How many minutes did we
fucked around for about 3 minutes trying to work this
it'd be
out.
interesting to go back and see what time the clock actually started when we started actually talking properly.
I reckon it was around 3 minutes.
All right, so we got... If we can do that, if we can try and keep it in... No, because we're not going to...
3 episodes, though.
Yeah, that's not going to take...
We might just have to try and condense, major moments.
Yeah.
Breeze over a few.
I think, we won't go into full detail like we did this one.
Yeah, I mean, this was opening episode.
That's right.
Opening episode.
You got to have it in detail.
I wonder if they knew. this is going to go for 10 seasons.
Yeah.
Or 9 seasons, whatever it is.
Well, again, thinking back, does it feel like it's all planned out, or like that you can?
No, well, it's one of those
Does it ever
things-
call back to, in later seasons? Does it call back to stuff from season 1 or season 2, or
No, I don't reckon it would.
like they're fairly standalone?
I reckon you could probably. Oh, I mean, you wouldn't know the names of the people, but you could probably chime in at season 5.
Yeah, right.
Surely there's a different like world crisis happening.
Yeah. Whereas I think something like Lost.
Yeah.
I mean, that did go on some pretty weird tangents that they would have, they hadn't planned out the whole series from the start.
I mean, I guess that's with like any series, isn't it?
True, yeah.
Like they don't.
You're like, we're getting renewed. Now
they
we've got to think of something to do.
They want to do their pilot, nail that.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they nailed this pilot?
No.
Nah. Yeah.
I think they nailed the end of it. I think
Yeah.
the plane
cliff,
scene
the cliffhanger.
and the daughter driving past and it being super dodgy and then driving past the mum, and I think that was really good. If it wasn't for the plane scene, I would have been like, okay, so we're gonna do how many episodes of this?
Yeah, they were. They could have definitely put a bit more action in there.
Yeah,
Like if you were starting this off just now, I wouldn't think it's not gonna get very actiony.
yeah.
But
But tell me
I
it
can-
does, right?
season 2.
Okay.
I mean episode 2.
Oh,
I keep saying
episode
season.
2.
Yeah,
All right.
episode 2.
So episode 2 should have been maybe they could have aired 1 and 2 together as like
They did maybe. I don't
I
know.
don't know. There have been some things that do that release
Yeah, you
like
get-
the first 2. Oh,
I mean,
I'm
you
trying to
got-
think of an example,
you
but yeah,
guys-
there certainly has
You
been.
guys listening to us, you're probably going to cop 3 episodes at once right now. We're not
Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
The other thing I was thinking of is maybe we'll do some sort of like follow along thing. So do some sort of discussion where if again it's the 24th anniversary
Oh yeah.
of
I
24.
wonder if anyone else.
So
picked this up.
everyone should be rewatching 24.
Do you reckon we'll get Jack Bauer in here?
Get who?
Jack Bauer.
That's the aim.
I reckon
It might take us a few years, but
he'll
that's
come
the
to us
goal.
in his. He's a bit old now, isn't he?
Okay, I don't know what he's been in recently. That's another thing to check
Yeah.
out. What has Kiefer Sutherland been in recently?
Yeah.
Probably something that everyone's watching, and I just am not on the pulse with.
He was
new
in
things.
that. Did you ever watch that? Oh, there's some show, sort of supernaturally, and the kid was
Ah.
like not an angel, but he had like some sort of little powers.
I got no idea.
Yeah, he was in something like that, another like few seasons of something.
Okay.
So this kid,
Like fairly recently.
not fairly. I feel like I was younger,
Right.
like definitely younger.
Touched by an Angel.
Nah, I remember that show though. Fuck.
I can't. I
Take
know.
it to
I can
our
remember the name.
lives.
I actually can't remember what it was about.
Yeah, they were angels.
Is he? No.
People died every episode.
No, I can't think.
But no, he did have some sort of episode in this, some sort of series, and his kid has like special abilities or something.
Okay.
Do you remember Heroes? Sorry,
I loved Heroes.
so did I.
But I feel like that fell away after
Yeah.
the first couple of, like season 1 was amazing and I was all
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
Silo or something like that was
Silo.
the
he was
the
did he have the black eyes like his eyes? were black?
yeah.
He could take people's powers.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Because he actually took them away. He didn't just copy them.
Yeah,
like,
he takes them.
yeah.
Anyway, another one to add to the list.
Blast from the
We're going to
past.
be so busy.
Yeah. All right. I reckon that's episode 1 done and in decent time. So if we're going to fit 3 in, it's going to be a bit more succinct with the recap of the
Once
episode.
we get it into the rhythm and stuff, it shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah. All
I
right.
just got to remember 3 episodes now instead of 1.
That's right. And trying to remember which ones are actually part of which episode and not.
Yeah,
I think it's okay if they sort of meld into one.
Yeah, I mean, if people end up like once we get up and running, if people want to join in,
Yeah. Have a watch party.
yeah, fuck yeah, we'll do it live.
We need to make a Reddit forum, or we need to do a Discord or something like that.
Yeah, if we get enough
Maybe
interest,
if we get 2 or 3 people, hey,
fuck,
there we go.
not just our wives.
That's right. Well, let's be honest, they're not going to watch. or
She's
listen
probably
to
gonna
it.
she's probably gonna watch this. Be like, did you say anything silly about me?
Yeah.
I'll be like, no, don't worry about that.
OC.
No, OC's not silly.
No.
No.
All
But
right.
yeah,
Until next week,
we'll see ya.
get a new brew. Watch episode 2, 3,
I need to
4.
come up with a sign off.
Uh,
Like I watched like a podcast. I listened to a podcast,
Yep.
and I'm not going to use theirs, but theirs goes off. What is it? Stay fresh cheese bags. And I always say it when they say it. I'm like, stay fresh cheese bags.
Yeah, we can't use. It's not even like a way of saying goodbye. That's definitely copyright.
What about we'll go Aussie. See you later, alligator.
Sure. Yeah. Goodbye.